guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you what I'm calling an everyday Valentine's look, and that is because I think this look could work any day of the year, whether it be Valentine's Day or the day after or in March. So it is a look that, because Valentine's Day is in the middle of the week and most of us have to go to work during the day, it's a look that I think could work for daytime and transition easily into night. If you want to bump up this look even more for your nighttime date or night out with the girls, stay tuned to the end and I'll give you some quick tips of how you can amp up this look and kind of take it a little to the next step for a little more glamorous look. Today I'm going to be using one of my favorite palettes. It is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. Smells like chocolate. The shadows are shaped like hearts. I mean, come on, just screams Valentine's. And this was a gift that my husband gave me one Valentine, obviously with a few very helpful hints from me. So if you're like me, you love makeup and you like to give hints to your special someone of a great gift idea, whether it be for Valentine's Day, birthdays, Mother's Day, anything, this is a great gift, I think, for a sweetheart to give. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing how I achieved this look, then continue watching. Also, as you'll notice, if you've been a watcher of my channel for a while, my hair looks a little different. This is just kind of a style that I do sometimes when I'm nearing haircut time and it's driving me nuts. So if you're interested in seeing a hair tutorial on how I kind of change up my normal styling of my hair, leave that in the comment section below and I'll be sure to do that video. All right, enough blabbing. Let's get into this tutorial. Okay, so we're just jumping right on in here. I'm gonna first apply my favorite Smashbox 24-hour eyeshadow primer. I need my look to last all day, not just through work day, but on into the evening. And then while that sets, I'm gonna apply my face primer. I'm going to be using the First Aid Beauty Coconut Skin Smoothing Primer Moisturizer. Such a mouthful to say. But this gives my skin just a little extra glow and moisture, but isn't gonna make me greasy. For foundation today, I'm gonna be using the MAC Studio Fix Fluid. I have it in NC20. This is one of those foundations that I know will last all day. I will probably have to powder before I go out for the evening, but I know it's not going to break down on me. So now my favorite way to apply this is actually to dab it on my face and then blend it in with a beauty sponge. This is the Echo Tools one. I just feel like it gives it a little more of a natural look, not so cakey. And my husband does prefer a less makeup-y look, so I'm not going for a super full coverage. But if you want that, you can get that with this foundation by using a brush. And then I'm just adding a second layer in some areas where I need just a little extra coverage. And then before I go any further, I gotta apply some lip gloss. This is the Buxom White Russian lip cream. I love applying these as I'm getting ready because it gives time for it to do its plumping work. For setting powder today, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and I have it in the Fair Light color, number 10. And I am just going to set my eyebrows and my forehead so that I don't get any creasing in here while I'm working on my eyes. And also, this will allow me to do my eyebrows as well. So if you haven't seen my eyebrow tutorial, I'll link that below to show you how I normally fill in my brows. So now I'm gonna do my brows and then we'll be right back and get to the eyes. Okay, so now that we've got our frame around our eyes, it's time to put some shadow there. And so we are gonna start with this shade Divinity, and I'm gonna use this Real Techniques brush, and I'm going to just set my primer. So this will just remove any tackiness from that primer and help our shadows blend a little easier. And then as always, I'm going to take this Morphe 208 brush and pack on more of that Divinity shade just right under the brow as my brow bone highlight. And then I am going to use some book tabs today. If you saw my Christmas tutorial, I used these in that. You can also use Scotch tape, but these are a lot less sticky and don't tug at the skin. So put these here, and you just want to line up. If you've got hooded eyes, you're going to have to go a little bit lower than the corner of your eye. And I'm just doing these because I find it's quicker sometimes to do my eyeshadow look. There we go. Okay, if our Valentines could only see us like this, right? All right, I am going to now start in with this super bright shade, Don't Be Afraid. And I'm going to use a fluffy brush. This is the Morphe 513, M513. And I'm just gonna lightly tap the tip of my brush in there, tap off the excess, and just ever so lightly blend this. Now, this shadow on its own does have like a satin finish, but because we're using it so lightly, you're not seeing much of that transfer, but you'll see why I'm doing this. So again, just super light, not heavy pressure, and I am just one tap into the shadow because you don't want to get too much of this. And this is just going to provide a nice pink halo around our crease color. And I'm going to use my favorite crease brush, the Morphe M504, and we're going to go in now with Almond Truffle, which is this one. I love this as a transition shade, and we're going to go pretty much right over where we did that pink shade, but just sticking a little lower so that it allows some of that pink halo to peek through. Okay, and then we're not going to make this look too dark and smoky for the daytime. I'll show you how to do that later. But we are going to add a little more definition with this dark color. It's one of my favorites in the palette. It's called Bordeaux, and it's more of a kind of a wine colored brown. So it's not just your standard boring chocolate brown. It has just a hint of those wine colors, and I just think it's beautiful and goes perfectly for our everyday Valentine look. And I'm keeping this pretty close to the lashes, going over that tape because this is going to give us just a little bit of a smoky line out here and just a little added definition in the outer corner. And then I want to further deepen the crease, so I'm going to take just a little bit of this in the outer part of the crease here. Yeah, that's better. And then I'm going to go back with our blending brush, just lightly blend the edge of that first with no extra shadow. And then add just a touch if you need to further blend that outer edge. Okay, and then because I want just a little extra darkness right here along the lash line, and I don't want to have to do this later for the evening, I'm just going to use the CityProof eyeliner in dark brown. And I am not going to take this all the way out. You'll see in a minute. I think I'm going to just smudge a little bit out there so it's just soft, because again, trying to keep this a little more work appropriate, and then we'll add some drama for the evening. So mostly just the outer edge here. And then I'm going to take a pencil brush. This is the Sedona Lace 904. And I'm just going to blend. And when I'm blending now, I'm blending over that bookmark tab just to make that line kind of fade out. And blending really just into the lashes. I don't want to take this up too far. Then going back to our palette, I'm going to go back in with a little of that Bordeaux shade. This is the Sedona Lace EB21. You could stay with that pencil brush if you want. I just love how this one really provides a nice soft blended line. And I'm just going right over that pencil and then blending up slightly. Then I'm going to go back with our crease brush and a little more of that Bordeaux shade. Just make sure this is dark and we didn't blend away all of our crease shade there. Okay, and then I'm going to go back with my blending brush, a little more of Almond Truffle right here, kind of in the center part of the crease. And then I'm going to go back with a little light dusting again of that Totally Fetch pink color. And again, just super light. Be careful. This could easily take over your look. Now it's time to peel off our tape. Oh, just love that. Isn't that fun? That nice crisp line. We are going to soften it a little bit in a second, but we're going to now work on the inner half of the lid, and we're going to take this color Sprinkles, and I'm just taking this Sigma E60 brush, and we are going to just pat this on the lid. This has a slight little bit of shimmer, but I think absolutely daytime appropriate, and you can see it just really kind of wakens the eye a little bit. Makes you look bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready for your day. Then I'm going to go back with my EB21 and I'm going to go in actually with Mocha, which is this slightly lighter brown color, because I want this liner to kind of fade inward a little bit. Use this on the inner half. Now we're going to soften this line just a little bit, and I'm just going to take a Q-tip and I'm going to blend up towards the brow, and you can see it just softens that edge just a little bit. So you can absolutely leave it like this if that's the look you're going for. I'm just going to soften it a little bit, and then we'll further soften this inner part when we work the lower lash line, which we're going to do now. So I'm going to take this NYX Faux Blacks pencil in Oxblood, and you could do purple down here, you could keep brown. I just like this little bit of this plummy red color, so it makes it a little more interesting. Okay, I worked that about halfway along the lower lash line. Now I'm going to go back in with a Morphe M432. This is just a flat definer brush, and I'm going to go over that liner with a little bit of Bordeaux first in the outer corner, and just be sure you're connecting to that upper lash line work that we did out here. And then wipe off that brush, and I'm going to use a little bit of this Almond Truffle on the inner part just to kind of soften where that line stops. And again, because this is a daytime look, I'm not taking this all the way in. You definitely could if you wanted to. All right, and now I'm going to take this e.l.f. pencil brush, And I'm going to first start with a little bit of that almond truffle. And we're going to use this to further soften this outer corner just a little bit. So I'm just lightly brushing this right below that line. And it just ever so slightly makes it look a little less harsh. Okay, and now that the tape is off, I feel like I want to go back and just bring this dark color up just a little bit. So I'm going to go back with a little more Bordeaux. And if you don't have hooded eyes, you're probably fine at this step and you can move on. But for those of us who have hooded eyes, it's a constant back and forth. Then I'm going to go back with my pink brush, the brush with the pink shadow on it, and just lightly brush that right at the outer corner. Okay, I think we're good. We'll see. I always like to clean up and add concealer and all that, and then we'll see if we need to do any more blending. So I'm going to clean up under the eye and we'll be back for concealer. For concealer today, I'm using a new favorite from the drugstore. It's the Catrice Liquid Camouflage, and I have it in the color 005 Light Neutral. And I have been really pleasantly surprised by this concealer. It's a little more liquidy, and it does, I find, require 2 layers. But I don't have to use a I find it actually works better if I don't use a color corrector underneath. So it layers fine on top of itself, but kind of got a little bit cakey when I did it over a color corrector. I'm just blending this in with my Morphe, what is this, the G2. I really like this brush. And I'm just patting that in. And you can see, I mean, it did a pretty good job. I have a little extra darkness right here. I'm gonna add a little bit extra concealer there, but this is a great concealer. And before that has time to crease, I'm going to just gently, lightly set that with my e.l.f. High Definition Translucent Powder. And just a little bit. This is not nearly as creamy as like the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye. So, but I just find it needs just a tiny little bit of setting. Now I'm going to set the rest of my face, and because again I'm going for longevity of my makeup, I'm going to use my Maybelline Fit Me powder and a flat powder puff, and I'm actually going to press this into my skin, especially in the areas that I can get a little bit of oiliness, where my pores are largest. I'm not technically baking, but I am using a little excess product. And then I will just dust this away with my big old powder brush. Moving on to skin. Now I'm going to start off with my NARS Laguna bronzer. I'm going to use the Sedona Lace 919, and I just love this bronzer. It gives life to the cheeks. It's a great way to kind of softly contour. We're not doing too much of a sculpted look since this is more daytime, and I just think this bronzer is a great formula. It's not completely matte, but it's not shimmery. Makes the skin look really healthy. And Then I'm going to go in with a smaller round brush. This is the FB05 from Sedona Lace. Same bronzer, and just going to add a hint more of a sculpting. Do you see that? Just kind of makes my cheeks look a little slimmer. And then I always go in with a little bit of contour on the nose. Just want this to be really soft and subtle, obviously. You don't want it to look like you've got brown stripes down your nose. And then you could obviously go in with one of the blushes in that palette. But for me, my longest wearing blushes, the blushes that last all day for me, are either the In-Stain ones from the Balm Cosmetics or the Tarte blushes. So I'm just gonna see which color I like the best. This is definitely more neutral, but I think I'm gonna go for this one. This just has a little more of a pink. So this is the Houndstooth blush, and I am going to try it on this. This is a crown brush that was in my BoxyCharm this month, so let's just give it a shot. This could be a little scary. These blushes don't require a whole lot of product. It's really pretty. Yeah. And then I'm going to just go back over that with my powder brush just to kind of softly blend that in. Now it's time for highlighter. Got to use a favorite, Mary Luminizer from the Balm. And I am going to use this was an Ipsy brush. I think it's Miss Glam. I think it is Miss Glam 136 or L36 brush. Isn't that so pretty? So I'm just going to use a little bit of that highlighter on my cheekbones here. And I'm not going to do too much, but just a soft little glow. Then I'm going to go in with this fine little detailer brush. This is the Morphe M326. Yes. And I'm going to go in with some of that Mary Luminizer. You can go back in with the shade Divinity from the Bonbons palette, but it doesn't have any shimmer to it, and I kind of just want a shimmery inner corner here. So we're going to use our face highlighter for that. Now it's time for some mascara. I'm going to, of course, curl my lashes and then apply one of my favorite combinations from the drugstore. This is the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer and the Lash Paradise. Okay, so now we're going to apply our lip color, and I'm going to first just blot off the excess lip gloss. And for starters, I'm going to go in with the NYX Slimline pencil in the color Mauve. And the first lip option I have for you is this Urban Decay Vice lipstick in the color Rebel. It's a metallized color, and I don't know, it's just that perfect pink color. I just love it. Okay, so here is that lip color. I just think it's such a pretty color. A medium pink color, but it has enough neutral base to it that I don't think it's overtly pink lipstick. It is one you're gonna have to touch up through the day. So if you don't want to mess with your lipstick all day, all night, I have another option for you. So whether you want to just change up your lip color before you go out for the evening, or you want to wear this lip color all day because it stays on, this is the new Marc Jacobs. These are called liquid lip crayons, and this is in the color Send Nudes, and it is a little bit deeper than the color I used before, but these are just a very unusual formula. So obviously it's in a stick form, goes easily in your handbag, but this, even though it's not transfer proof, it's transfer resistant. If you're eating, drinking, it is going to slowly wear off, but these are so long wearing and not particularly drying on the lips. So let me show you this color. It's a little bit deeper, so it'd be a little more if you want a little more color on your lips. So there you go. Isn't it so pretty? Definitely more on the plum side, but very neutral still. All right, guys, so here is our finished look. And I think this adds just enough smokiness on the outer corner that you could get away with this look for day or night. But if you want to amp this look up just a little more, you're going straight from work to your date or out with the girls and you just want a little extra something, the three things that I would add to your purse are these. First, it would be the Urban Decay Waterline 24/7 pencil. Just run this on your waterline, inner rim and upper rim if you're comfortable with that. And that is just going to add a little depth to the eyes, a little darkness. And then some kind of cream shimmery shadow. My favorite is the Stila. These are the shimmer and glow ones. They also have ones with glitter. I love the shimmer and glow ones. This is in the color Kitten, and you can just apply this a little bit on the inner corner with your pinky, blended in, and done, and it'll stay all night. And then finally, I would amp up my lip color or deepen my lip color with this Marc Jacobs or any other, you know, darker lip color, but this would be my choice for this look in Send Nudes. And this is just going to deepen your lips just a little bit more. So these would be 3 easy steps that you could do right after work as you're rushing out the door. My husband and I, oddly enough, fun fact is that our first date was on February 15th and we met right after work for dinner. So just a little fun tidbit for you. All right, guys, so that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe below if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.